So if you've been following my channel, recently I've been bringing up a lot about the bridge symbolism that our mainstream media is portraying and how it's connected to the Super Bowl this year. Because in 2015, I was talking a whole lot about the Ben Franklin Bridge possibly collapsing in Philadelphia and all of these connections to bridges and whatnot. And this year, the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that had the famous bridge collapse on 8/1, and it supposedly fell 81 feet. And in gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases, which if you're new, check out the links in the description, and I explain more of what it is and why I am talking about this. But if in gematria, Golden Gate Bridge equals 81 in two forms of gematria. And this year, in 2018, it will even be 81 years old. And there's just been lots of predictive programming to bridges and whatever else. Anyway, in regards to Philadelphia and bridges and whatnot, what I was talking a lot about in 2015 was the movie Happy Gilmore. And on that movie, let me pull it up really quick. On that movie, he learns how to putt on the earthquake golf course. And the building that falls over, it looks a lot like the Comcast Center in Philadelphia. Let me pull it up here. The building that falls over, it has this black cube on it. And the only building that you can think of or whatever else that looks like this is the Comcast Center in Philadelphia. And, he even does it at 107 in the movie. And the word earthquake in gematria equals 107, right? Also 163, just like Super Bowl LII and whatnot. Lots of connections to the Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl's even on a date numerology of 44. 2 plus 4 plus 20 plus 18 equals 44. And earthquake, the small way, equals 44. We even had the Mexico City earthquake that, I just made a video on it. It's connected to the Patriots playing in Mexico City. And that was the game where Marshawn Lynch didn't stand during the American national anthem, but he knelt. He knelt during the American one, but he stood during the Mexican national anthem. But anyway, just wanted to point out this connection to Philadelphia earthquakes and whatever else that I've been talking about. And I also mentioned a bunch about a possible bridge collapse. And I looked up this movie Oblivion again, because in this movie Oblivion, it shows the 2017 championship or whatever, and they hint that the last Super Bowl will be in 2017. But this year is the 2017 season of the Super Bowl. And I'm not making this video because I think that something big and bad is going to happen at the Super Bowl, because it probably won't. But I guarantee there's something connected to the Super Bowl that will happen that is connected to the Super Bowl, if that makes any sense. And possibly it will happen at the Super Bowl this year. Lots of things are lining up, but that doesn't always mean it's going to happen that way. But I went back and I looked at this movie, Oblivion, and I noticed that the cover of it has a collapsed bridge. And I thought, how interesting, in regards to how much I've been talking about the collapsed bridge symbolism and just bridge stuff going on with the Super Bowl. And also, I looked up Tom Cruise's movies or whatever, just to see what other movies he's in. It said that the movie he got a start from was called Endless Love, right? Endless Love. Does that not remind you of the movie Happy Gilmore, the part where he, Virginia Vinet makes the putt and he says, "What, friends listen to Endless Love in the Dark," right? So I looked up the movie, or the song Endless Love, and look at this. You just can't make this up. The song came out on 8/1 of the year 81. And remember, the Minnesota Bridge collapsed on 8/1, and it fell 81 feet. Golden Gate Bridge equals 81. Pittsburgh was really big in the symbolism this year. Pittsburgh Steelers equal 81 in gematria, and Pittsburgh is known as the city of bridges. You know, all kinds of stuff with the number 81 that I've talked about this year. Pope Francis even turned 81 years old, 81 days after the Jesuit anniversary. He's the first Jesuit pope. Donald Trump went to a Jesuit university. Their birthdays are even synced up to the Jesuits and whatnot, 187 days apart. Society of Jesus equals 187. Trump's national convention in Cleveland was on 18/7, and then he became president 187 days later. Kobe Bean Bryant also equals 81 in gematria, the Philadelphia native. Remember him for his 81-point game in basketball. So I don't know. There's lots of bridge symbolism that's going on. It's connected to the number 81. And it's just interesting that I talked about this in 2015 in regards to Philadelphia and all kinds of media stories that I was talking about 2015. Tons of stuff just keeps coming back up. Stuff I was talking about 2015. Even, we had the death of whatever his name was, Razul Butler, who was connected to Lamar Odom, who overdosed in 2015. And they brought back up the story of the Falls train attack with Spencer, whatever his name is, and Alex Skarlatos, right? They're making a movie about it now. And then right after that happened, we got the Roseburg, Oregon shooting, and Alex Carletos was from Roseburg, Oregon, which that shooting happened on 10/1, just like the Las Vegas shooting of this year. And, 10/1 Philadelphia equals 101. It was the Route 91 Harvest Festival on the day that leaves 91 days in the year. Vikings equal 91. I even talked about the movie King Ralph and the Big Lebowski and a bunch of other stuff. That's how I thought that Ralphie May would die this year, and Ralphie May died in Las Vegas just after the Las Vegas shooting. But in that movie, the Big Lebowski, he signs his check on 9/11 of the year 91, and the movie King Ralph came out in 91. It has John Goodman in it. John Goodman's also in the Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski equals 231 in gematria. And national anthem equals 231 in gematria, which is a big thing in regards to the NFL season this year and whatnot. And in the movie The Big Lebowski, he hates the fucking Eagles, if you remember. So, and the Eagles are the Super Bowl now. There's a lot. Hopefully, I'm not losing people, but I probably am. Lot going on with it. But this movie Oblivion is super important, whether there is going to be something at the Super Bowl or if it's just connected to something after the Super Bowl or possibly just before the Super Bowl. But I noticed that Oblivion equals 44 in gematria, like earthquake, but it also equals 98 and 118. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania equals 118. Patriots equal 118. Tom Brady equals 118. The number 98. Patriots equal 98. Tom Brady equals 98. He became the starter at Michigan in 98. Jim Harbaugh equals 98. Michigan Wolverines, where he went to, college, equals 98. He became the starter in 98. Brady Bunch equals 98. Snickers equals 98. Remember Super Bowl 49, they had the Snickers Brady Bunch commercial and a bunch of other stuff with him selling his house to Dr. Dre, the Brady Bunch Chin House, right around the same time that Alice on the Brady Bunch died. Last year we had the death of Florence Henderson, the mom on the Brady Bunch. Then the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl. 82 days later, New England Patriots at gematria. We'll just show you if I could spell it right. New England Patriots equal 82 at gematria. And literally, the mom on the Brady Bunch died 82 days before the Patriots won the Super Bowl last year. Also, I saw this article about Tom Brady's mother being from Browerville, Minnesota. Browerville, Minnesota even equals 98 and 118. And it's funny that it says that it's 135 miles away from US Bank Stadium. 135 is a number in connection to the Eagles and Philadelphia. Fly Eagles fly equals 135. The key of David equals 135. In the book of Revelation, Revelation 3:7, it mentions the Church of Philadelphia in regards to the key of David or whatever, right? So the key of David, the Church of Philadelphia. Philadelphia even founded on a date numerology of 135. Talked about Kobe Bryant. His full name equals 135. Golden Gate Bridge also equals 135. And Philadelphia and San Francisco Bay Area have a huge connection. Like, the Philadelphia Athletics are now the Oakland Athletics, and the Golden State Warriors used to be the Philadelphia Warriors. And supposedly the Liberty Bell was even in San Francisco area at one time as well. Also, the film Oblivion, it came out in Buenos Aires, which is where Pope Francis is from, 13 days after Pope Francis became the Pope, on 3/13 of 2013, 3/13/13. And then this movie Oblivion came out 13 days after he became the Pope. So 13 days after 3/13/13. How interesting. And the 65th prime number is 313. Philadelphia equals 65 in gematria. A bunch of other stuff with 313. Even if you write out the mark of the beast, 600, 3 score and 6, it equals 313 in gematria. Also, a while back, I pointed out Tom Cruise's full name equals 107, like earthquake. Also 127, like Minneapolis, and then 316 in reverse. And 316 is this big number around the kneeling during the national anthem, how it connects to Charles Manson. Charles Manson believing in the helter-skelter theory, and the blacks are going to rise up, because of the song Blackbird and whatnot. And then, like I said, Paul McCartney singing he sang the national anthem the last time the Patriots and the Eagles played each other. His birthday 231 days before the Super Bowl this year. National anthem equals 231. And Tim Tebow, the original kneeler, right? Tim Tebow, he had the whole 316 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers on 1/8 or 8/1, reminding us of Bridge. Pittsburgh Steelers equal 81. He knelt for Jesus or whatever, right? Think about John 3:16. Jesus Christ in Hebrew gematria equals 316. Earlier in the year, we had the death of Aaron Hernandez, the former, New England Patriot. Aaron Hernandez, he wrote John 3:16 in blood or on his book or whatever, or on the wall in his jail cell or whatever. If you're at 316, it equals 98 in gematria, just like Patriots. 98th season of the NFL. In the movie Oblivion also, Tom Cruise's character learns the complete truth of that he's a clone or whatever after he sees tech number 52, which is interesting, Super Bowl 52. The word clone equals 118, right? Like Patriots, like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The word drone equals 231, like national anthem. Also, in regards to the Golden Gate Bridge, the 81st anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge is 112 days after the Super Bowl this year. And Super Bowl in gematria equals 112. And if you go the other way, from the 80th anniversary to the Super Bowl, it's a span of 253 days, also 8 months and 8 days. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania equals 253. And 88 is important to all the kneeling stuff. Neil equals 88, Trump equals 88, Colin Kaepernick equals 88, Star Spangled Banner equals 88. You know, talked about how it's connected to the 88th anniversary of the stock market crash with Herbert Hoover. H is the eighth letter, H, 88. Herbert Hoover even was the president who signed into Congress that the Star Spangled Banner becomes the official national anthem. Also, in regards to the song Endless Love, that's what it says. Diana Ross, part of the song Endless Love. I noticed she was born on 3/26, which is the same day that the movie Oblivion came out. And born in the year 44, reminds us of earthquake. 3/26 is this number I've been talking about in regards to the angel Gabriel and whatnot. Gabriel equals 135 in reverse, right? Like all the 135s above, the key of David and whatnot. And her last name, Ross, just reminds me of the flag being sung by Betsy Ross at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. And someone pointed out in my comments, and I never looked it up yet, but it says if you go from her birthday to Super Bowl 52, it's even a span of 316 days. How interesting. All the stuff with Charles Manson. Charles Manson, his name equals 316 in Gematria. He was born on the 316th day. He died 3 months, 16 days after Tom Brady. Lots of interesting stuff going on with it. So, I don't know. I just wanted to point out this bridge symbolism. Can never make a short video. So, wanted to point the bridge symbolism out with the movie Oblivion that talks about the 2017 being the last Super Bowl and whatnot. Interesting stuff. And then the Endless Love blew me away. The song Endless Love came out on 8/1 of the year 81. It's connected to the bridge collapse stuff. So, have a good one. Peace.